and gentlemen, good evening and welcome inside Joe Bean Stadium here on the campus of Wheaton College. I'm Abram Erickson here alongside my partner Justin Majeski, and we're excited to kick off the 2019 Bob Baptista Invitational Men's Soccer Tournament here at Wheaton College. Excited for this matchup tonight. Wheaton College versus Wittenberg University. It's been a full day of soccer here at Joe Bean Stadium earlier today. The Wheaton Thunder women's soccer team getting a 3-0 win over Puget Sound. Immediately before this game, Elmhurst College and St. Norbert College faced off in the first game of the men's side of the Bob Baptista tournament. St. Norbert getting the 2-0 win over Elmhurst. As the stadium begins to fill up tonight, the sun setting over McCulley Stadium and Blanchard Hall in the distance, and a packed crowd filing into Joe Bean Stadium. Exciting matchup tonight, and certainly we're excited to kick off this season of men's soccer here for the Wheaton Thunder, and two teams that had similar records in the past year, and Wheaton finishing a little better in conference. They finished 10-7-1. Wittenberg finishing 7-10-1. That's 8 out of 10 in the North Coast Atlantic Conference. Wheaton finishing 3rd out of 9 in the CCIW. And the Thunder bringing back a lot of returning starters from the last year, including top 7 goal scorers from last year returning, losing a couple important pieces as well, but some new freshmen that are going to look to get some playing time early as well, Justin.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a few freshmen starting actually in this game with Dylan Eder and Alessandre Di Argentino starting too. The cool thing about Wheaton soccer is just Jake's, ability to incorporate these freshmen on early on in the season. And not just, to see, their ability level and their ability to fit into this team and mesh well, but just because they really are that good. And I think that's a testament to the recruiting by the Wheaton staff, but also just the level of play that Wheaton soccer is demanding. So even though we lost some key players such as Ty Robbins, Elliot Paul, Andrew Wade, even Jackson Holst too, we have leaders who are stepping up. Our captains this year, Peter Whalen and Will Woodfin, they bring a level of, leadership that we look for out of this Wheaton team. And I'm really excited to see, what they have to bring to the table. I mean, they have something to prove. Coming off of that 3-0 loss to Carthage in the CCIW tournament. Wittenberg also has something to prove as well, though. They didn't have the winning record that Wheaton did last season. They're coming to Joe Bean Stadium to take on Wheaton. We have the home field advantage. This is a big tournament. The Bob Baptista Invitational is something that's, prestigious for teams to come in here, and take on Wheaton right off the bat. So I think there's statements to be made on both sides, and I'm really excited to see. But we're going to send it down to the field here pretty soon. It looks like the two teams are lining up here, and the referees for, the introductions and the national anthem.
And Justin, one thing you mentioned is that home field advantage. One key stat, Wheaton Thunder 8-0 last year while playing at home here at Joe Bean Stadium. So 8 of their 10 wins coming inside of this stadium. So be interesting to see if they can kick off that same winning record here this year. And as you mentioned, yes, teams lining up, shaking hands with the referees, about to head out for the introductions. So we'll send it down to the field for the PA announcer Rusty Lindsay for introductions and the national anthem.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Joe Bean Stadium on the campus of Wheaton College for the final game of Day 1 of the 2019 Bob Baptista Invitational. Tonight's game features the visiting Wittenberg University Tigers and your Wheaton College Thunder. At this time, let's meet the starters. First for the visiting Tigers. In goal, wearing number 1, a sophomore from Worthington, Ohio, Jason Bowen. Number 3, a senior from Bellefontaine, Ohio, Ross Angelo. Number 4, a freshman from Twinsburg, Ohio, Jack Bennick. Number 5, a freshman from Dublin, Ohio, Andres Mujica. Number 6, a freshman from Fishers, Indiana, Sean Williams. Number 12, a freshman from Perrysburg, Ohio, Alexander Zysik. Number 16, a freshman from Loveland, Ohio, Nick Christo. Number 17, a freshman from Seattle, Washington, Aaron Craddock. Number 21, a freshman from Newburgh, Indiana, Patterson Edris. Number 24, a junior from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Edwin Blanco. And number 33, a freshman from Columbus, Ohio, Tom Swift. The Tigers are coached by Dwight Burgess. And now the starting lineup for your Wheaton College Thunder. In goal, wearing number 32, a junior from Kalamazoo, Michigan, Haston Biddlecombe. Wearing number 2, a senior from Savannah Park, Maryland, Missaker Wingate. Number 5, a sophomore from Bensenville, Illinois, Michael Martins. Number 9, a sophomore from Hoffman Estates, Illinois, Joey Sopakiotis. Number 11, a junior from Cornelius, North Carolina, A.J. Moyes. Number 15, a freshman from Magnolia, Texas, Dylan Eder. Number 17, a senior from Bedford, Massachusetts, Peter Whalen. Number 18, a freshman from Wayne, Illinois, Alessandro D'Argento. Number 22, a senior from Hawthorne, New Jersey, Will Woodfin. Number 23, a junior from Burlington, Iowa, Justin Hill. And number 26, a junior from Portage, Michigan, Ryan Melgar. Wheaton is coached by Jake DeClude, assisted by Marcelo Galvo, Brad Anthony, Ian Lovett, and Dylan Milken. At this time, we ask that you please rise, and gentlemen, remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
We'll bring it back upstairs for a couple minutes before we get set for kickoff here. And Justin, just in the time that we've been here getting the introductions and the national anthem, the stands have filled up even more. We've got a big student section here. Lights are just turning on as the sun finally dips down below the horizon. We're excited for the season opener and the home opener here for the Wheaton Thunder.
Absolutely, and I think that it's just the air of this opening match. Every year it draws a big crowd. We still have fans pulling in and pouring in through the stadium entrance. You can't see well on the screen here, but I think Wheaton's super eager, the Wheaton men's team, super eager to come and make a statement like they did last year. What was it, a 5-0 win, you said, Aber? So 5-0 win with some amazing goals scored by even some of the younger players on the team, and some of those goal scorers that we had consistently from last year, like Shane Copeland, our leading goal scorer on the team with 4 goals last year, which honestly doesn't sound like a lot, which I think goes to show how spread out and balanced Wheaton's team is as far as goal scoring goes. We're also going to be looking to some of the seniors and just the leadership on this team as far as Will Woodfin, Peter Whalen, Misker Wingate goes. I mean, they all bring their own unique skill sets to the table. Misker with his speed, Will just with his vocal leadership and also his speed, Peter with just his calm and composed nature. I think there's a lot that this team has to offer. I'm excited to see with these two freshmen that we mentioned, too, starting. And I talked to Coach Brad Anthony before the match, and he said that they're interested to rotate some of the other freshmen in throughout the game. So it'll be interesting to see.
And here we go. The kickoff of the opener. Pass into the middle is deflected right away, and now Wheaton will look to control, get it back to the defensive line. Melgar will go back to Biddlecombe, who will look to set up.
And some of our defensive players have shifted around this year too. We have Michael Martins playing left back and AJ Moyes, who normally played up top, coming into the right back position. So a lot of speed and offensive ability too out of this defense on the Wheaton men's side.
Wingate with the ball over on the far side will go back to Hill, and Hill will once again get it back to Biddlecombe in goal.
And Biddlecombe coming off a strong summer of training too. He's over in Europe actually. I was talking to him a little bit before the game. Just becoming even better. That's a good through ball there, contested by what looks like is that AJ Moyes? No, that's the new freshman, number 11. Or that's AJ Moyes. My bad. Can't see well from up here.
Ball passed out ahead and saved. Sapikiotis will go after it, but he will let it go.
I was almost surprised to see AJ up that high and playing in the right back position, but that just goes to show that, Wheaton's outside backs are a fundamental part of this offense.
Ball goes into the box. Batted around a little, back out to Moyes in the near side corner. A little bit of a misplay there and gets taken away by the Tigers defender, but right back to Peter Whalen. And back to Melgar. Melgar looks to pass, deflected, and will roll out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Thunder. It looks like that was Sean Williams providing defense for the Tigers.
And you can see off of the screen there on the right side there was the whole Wheaton men's bench standing up supporting their team. I think that's something that's so important. It just shows the cohesiveness of this team, but also just, their hunger and eagerness here. Just off the first couple minutes of the game here, you could see already that offensive pressure meshing together between players like AJ Moyes and Joey Sapikiotis, Will Woodfin getting involved too.
Bowen, the sophomore goalkeeper, sends it deep to the other side, and now Woodfin looking to provide some defense. Ball deflects off the referee there for a second. Sean Williams looks to pass up ahead, and now it's controlled by the Thunder. Out of bounds, and the last touched by Eder, the freshman, so it'll be a throw-in for the Tigers. Zysik to take the throw-in. He'll go into Williams, and now they look to set up.
Wheaton doubles so quickly there, which just forces number 16 on the Wittenberg side, Nick Christo, just to make a mistake there and play, it looked to be a through ball just over the touchline. So Haston Biddlecombe takes that goal kick. Wheaton likes to keep a lot of possession. You see Haston opting to, just play out to the side over to Justin Hill, and they could just work it up so much better that way.
Ball goes in the middle. Whalen passes out to Woodfin. Woodfin taking time to set up. Nice deflection by the defender. And now we'll have the first whistle of the game. It'll go back to Wittenberg.
Yeah, Will Woodfin just jumping a little bit late there. The Wittenberg team able to draw the foul there. While Will Woodfin had the ball there, you saw AJ Moyes making that streaking overlap there, just looking for the ball. Had some good understanding there between Will Woodfin and AJ Moyes. Ball played in, long ball. AJ Moyes shielding, Haston Biddlecombe coming out. A little bit of a miscommunication there. It looks like they call a foul because the Wittenberg player shoved AJ into Haston. Biddlecombe a little bit eager there to get the ball out quickly in the back.
Now we'll go back short to Eder. Eder bringing it over the field, passing to Martins on the far side. Martins will go back to Justin Hill. Plays it back to Melgar.
And this Wheaton defense playing so wide. A little bit of a mistake there by Melgar as he plays the pass rather light. There's a streaking run to the back post, but Melgar making up there, giving A.J. Moyes time to come back. And he just opts to play it off the end line. A little bit of a mistake there in the back by the Wheaton men's side. So they'll have some time to recuperate here as they set up for the corner kick. And I think that's the good and the bad thing there that we saw about, Wheaton playing so wide defensively is it's great to stretch teams and, really tire them out and work around and just try to find good passes forward. But if you play them too short or not hard enough like that, you open up a counterattack.
Mujica sends it far post. Ball deflected inside. It's up high. Headed once, and now Sapikiotis looks to clear. Racing toward the end line is Woodfin, and that one will roll off the sideline.
In these first 5 minutes, we've seen quite a bit of attacking on both sides. I think it's just going to take both teams, calming down. It's the first game of the season. They just got to mesh together here and really get that passing rhythm going down. I haven't seen that out of Wheaton yet.
Williams into the corner, deflected by Melgar.
A corner flag keeping that in there.
That one deflects off of Sean Williams, and now it'll be a throw-in for Moyes with 39:35 left to go in this first half. Eder off the head up in the air. Williams there to recover it. Mujica passes inside the box.
A little bit of skill there by Michael Martins. 2 little bits of skill there just to, shake his defender, and Peter Whalen able to draw the foul off of that. The referee cautioning harshly the Wittenberg side there. He's letting him know that he doesn't want to see anything like that the rest of the game. So I wonder if he'll referee like that the rest of the game and just not let little things like that slide. I mean, obvious foul there. Great movement by Peter Whalen there to draw the defenders out and flick on, trying to look for a quick break.
Hill working it towards the middle, goes into Eder. Taps it back and has no choice but to go back to Biddlecombe.
I think that's a good part too with the Wheaton defense and even the Wheaton offense, just liking to incorporate Biddlecombe, training him to use his feet very well. Ball played wide to Misker Wingate, who has a good touch with his head on the sideline, just using that speed that I was talking about earlier. Great run to the middle, great ball, but no Wheaton player is able to get to that one, just clear it out wide.
Williams looks to pass inside, and now looks like a ball will stay with Wittenberg. Wants to play a through ball out in front, but Hill there to just send it off. Looks like it does go off the end line, so it will be a corner.
A little bit of a miscommunication there as maybe not a miscommunication, but more just, Wheaton was sitting back there off of that quick little ball back in. Almost caught them out there. The back line was rather flat, and they just played that through ball through. Justin Hill opting to just kick that over the end line there and give his team some time to get their shape back. That was a good opportunity, though, Abram, that we saw started by just the speed of Misker Wingate down the wing.
Williams to take the corner for Wittenberg. He goes near post, and the ball sails over the crossbar.
Good opportunity there, you'll see on the replay. Nice driven ball into the front post, and not able to get his head around that, just a little bit under the ball there, and sends it over the crossbar. It's a good opportunity and a good look too by the Wittenberg side.
Hill with space, goes over to Eder. And now Eder wants to push it forward. Through ball up ahead to Moyes. Off the head of the Tiger defender. Moyes not able to come down with it. Williams there. Moyes races back into the play. Takes possession of the ball, looks to pass inside. Sapikiotis goes out to Whalen, and now Eder will cross it back to Martins. Martins with a great move to get in front of his defender, and he pulls off a shot that just goes out the right side.
He pulled up from rather far on that one. Not sure it would have taken a very good shot to beat the goalkeeper from nearly 40 yards out here, but see, great little bit of skill by Martins to get around his mark there and winds up a good shot. Goalkeeper just watches it go wide there. And that goalkeeper, Jason Bowen, the sophomore from Ohio, to take the goal kick here.
36 minutes even here. The crowd still pouring into the stands at Bean Stadium. All right, around midfield, goes up. Eder pokes it out, and he'll head back to the far side. Hill there, send it towards the middle. Nice play by Melgar to come and take possession, and another foul will be called, and it'll stay with the Thunder.
Coach DeClude on the sideline telling his team to play fast. He sees that there's a lot of space on this sideline. Peter Wheaton plays the ball back to Melgar, who has time and space just to dribble up here. Plays the ball all the way back to Biddlecombe.
We've seen him do that multiple times so far, just content to send it back to Biddlecombe when they need to. Now a through ball played up ahead. Looked like they wanted to hit Sapikiotis out on the run, but ball's still with the Thunder. Another shot.
Oh, great shot, and that's a goal! And that's none other than number 18, Alessandro Di Argento, the freshman, opening up the scoreline for Wheaton with 10 minutes gone on the clock. And, you know, you can't ask for a better collegiate start here. We'll see on the replay. Whelan with a great header. Di Argento lines up, hits a great first shot. Honestly, that might have been destined for goal. And you see the Wittenberg defender there just putting his head in his hands. And you can't really do much about that. He tried to get his body in front, deflects it towards the other side. A bit lucky for the Wheaton men's side, but that changes the scoreline to 1-0. Wheaton men's soccer up with 35 minutes left in this first half.
Like you said, Justin, a ball with a lot of pace on it that, who knows, like you said, could have been destined for goal either way.
And that's what I like to see out of the Wheaton men's team, is taking shots. I mean, they are so good with possession, but in the final third, you know, they've had troubles historically with, you know, just taking their shots and taking their chances. So I like to see that, especially out of the freshmen.
The Thunder goal, first of his career for number 18, Alessandro Di Argento. Di Argento goal, the assist to number 17, Peter Whelan.
Williams now works inside, a great pass, but a good job by Moyes to send that ball back up in the air.
It's important to note, too, that that goal was assisted by Whelan. I think Whelan's such a, you know, pivotal piece of this midfield, too, and just his ability and his vision, you know, as he dribbles with it here, honestly, his dribbling ability, too. You know, he just has a vision, you know, as far as picking out these players, whether it be the wingers, whether it be these forwards too, but I think he's going to be incorporated in a lot of assists this season.
Melgar back, through ball up ahead. It's, looks like intended for Wingate, but Bowen will get there in time and will take control of the ball right around the 18. Bowen now directing his team, taking some time before he sets it back down. 33 minutes and 38 seconds to go. Like you said, Justin, goal scored at the 35-minute mark by Di Argento.
Goalkeeper Bowen there opts to punt it. Wheaton gaining possession rather fast. Good move there by Eder. Two good moves there by Eder as he dances around his defenders.
Melgar goes over to Hill, and we've seen the ball go through that way a lot of times with Melgar going back over to Hill and working on that far side.
And see how wide they're playing. They're both playing in the center back position, and they're all that ball just taking a quick deflection from number 6 there on the Wittenberg side. Sean Williams as he contests that. Biddlecombe trying to keep that ball in, flicks it. Does. AJ Moyes there on the receiving end.
Melgar over the middle to Woodfin. Woodfin wants to get it out to Wingate. It's just going to be a little far out ahead. Wingate won't even chase as the ball rolls out to Bowen.
I think they're going to be looking for a lot of through balls of Wingate just with that speed and his dribbling ability too. We haven't exactly seen it showcased yet, but you know, we've seen it from some of these other players like Martins and Eder, but I'm excited to see if Missiker pulls any of that out tonight. You definitely see the reactions from the crowd there.
Melgar comes forward to take control. Moyes now on the near side. He'll pass it up to Woodfin, but ball goes right between Sapikiotis and Woodfin. Woodfin comes back, but Whelan is there. Whelan passes into the middle. It gets past Wingate.
Good read there by Wingate to just anticipate where the pass is going.
Great recovery. Looks to work around the corner and goes down. That'll be a free kick for the Thunder in a favorable position.
Absolutely, and we have players who can take it from here. I think they're going to try to go for the cross here. He'll probably load some players in the box and just look to put something right in between that, penalty kick spot and the 6-yard line.
Martins and DiArgento standing over the ball.
They push up both center backs, Justin Hill and Ryan Melgar, into the box. They offer a lot of this height on the Wheaton squad.
It'll be DiArgento. He sends it curling towards the near post, deflected by Bowen. Moyes wanted a little one-timer inside, and now it'll go back, but Etter's right there.
That's not a terrible look either. When those in-swingers are heading right for you as a goalkeeper, it's oftentimes difficult to read them when you're anticipating a touch, just like that one. Will Woodfin gets the touch. The header goes towards the back post, but there's a Wittenberg defender there to clear it right off the line.
That's a good defensive play by the Wittenberg defender with his goalie down.
And you see just the hunger of Spikiotis and Woodfin there, just eager to get that goal. And Will Woodfin there, not afraid to go contest it with Bowen.
Referee said that one went off the end line. Let's see which way that this one goes. Christow just couldn't corral it in before it rolled off the line. Looks like it will stay with the Thunder. Moyes to throw in.
And number 16, Nick Christow, arguing with the referee there. He believed it should have been a foul.
Goes back to Melgar. Ryan goes back to Biddlecombe, who's kicks it back over to Hill on the far side. Thunder taking their time here. Over to Hill.
And AJ pushed up rather high on the right side here. As we mentioned earlier, he's playing in that right back position, but Woodfin pulling deep inside, and now there's opportunities because AJ's all the way on the touchline here. You can't even see it on the screen, but now they play it over to him. And plays a long curling ball in. Bowen goes to contest. Mr. Wingate right on the top of that. Bowen not able to get a secure hold on that ball, but clears that one out. Great tackle by Will Woodfin there, and he thought he had the throw in there as he picks the ball up, but that will be a Wittenberg throw in. So he took that ball right out of the dribbling of Alexander Zysek.
Zysek will go in to Williams, or he attempts to, but it's taken away. DiArgento there in the center. Now ball passed up ahead to Mujica. Mujica plays it back, and now it's over to Williams. Christow goes over to Williams in the corner. He's marked by Moyes. Williams looking to get around and deflected just off the end line, so it'll be a corner kick here for Wittenberg.
Tiger, corner
That's
kick.
good defending there by Moyes. So he takes a nice defensive stance and even reads the cut there, able to get his foot on it just to deflect that out. No cross into the middle. We'll see a corner kick opportunity for here. 28 minutes left on the clock for those of you just joining us. Thunder up 1-0 off of a goal from Alessandro DiArgento. You see Biddlecombe on the back post, just trying to get a hand on the ball, and he remains down for a moment. This could be, he gets up.
Pulled to his feet, and trainers will not need to head out onto the field, signaling that he's all right.
Biddlecombe's a tough guy. He can take a hit, that's for sure. But just shielded there as he attempted to go parry that ball wide. Draws the foul for his team. Plays it out of the back to Melgar. Switching it over to Justin Hill, who has time and space. Decides to dribble that a bit. Dangerous pass because now it puts Melgar in a bad position, but Melgar able to make the tackle.
Zysek back over the middle, but DiArgento is able to recover.
Long
He'll pass
ball.
outside to Wingate.
Now Wingate might use his dribbling ability right here. Takes a shot, that's a great shot, and that's a goal. The goalkeeper didn't even know how it went in. He just stands there. Wingate going over to celebrate with his team, and look at the look on his face. Wingate, the senior winger. And we'll see the replay here, but you can see how happy he is.
Like you said, Justin, and he worked around that defender and just took the shot from right outside the 18. Bowen didn't even jump. He was looking like he was moving to the right, and the ball came up over the left side of his head.
Exactly. Missiker Wingate's great with his shot, and I believe that shot there, I couldn't see it well in the replay, but I believe it was a knuckleball, which is very difficult to read as a goalkeeper. And I think it just started heading to the right, knuckled back to the left, and went near post, leaving Bowen just standing there. Great shot by Wingate, though. And that puts the Thunder up 2-0 with 27 minutes left in this first half. A great start here for Wheaton, exactly the start that they were hoping for, Abram.
Exactly, and now the crowd is on their feet, as you can see. And
The Thunder goal, his first of the year for number 2, Missiker Wingate. Wingate, unassisted.
And there's the roar of the Thunder student section, as that entire side of the bleachers is filled up here with just about 20 minutes gone in the first half.
And Wingate, not a regular starter in his first 3 years here at Wheaton. Got quite a bit of time as a freshman, but not as much time in his sophomore and junior seasons. Returns as a starter here his senior season. I think that's just a little bit of a showcase of his ability level, you know, and the impact that he'll make for this team this season.
Ball passed up ahead. Martins, they're the one to get it down. Moves back to Hill. Hill works it over towards Biddlecombe. We'll switch it over to Melgar.
And Wheaton playing in a 4-3-3 right now. It gives them the ability to work the ball around through this back line and then even through the middle. They're playing with just one defensive midfielder and 2 attacking mids, you know, just outlining that offensive mindset that Wheaton has, but also just these 3 guys up top with Will Woodfin in the middle, and then our wingers, Spikiotis and Wingate.
Whalen looking inside. He sends a left-footed shot inside. Looks like Woodfin was there, goes off of Bowen, so we'll have a corner kick here for Thunder.
You see on the replay here, almost tries to do the same thing as Wingate. Just gets way too much on top of the ball, but Woodfin coming in there, trying to just get a little bit of a touch on it to put it past Bowen, but Bowen touching that one out for a corner kick.
Martins to take the corner. We've got Woodfin and Sapikiotis stacked up close.
And on the back, you see our taller players, Melgar, Justin Hill, and Peter Whalen, as they make their respective runs here.
This one's deep, out to the backside, headed in. Whalen there almost sends that header into the goal, just over the crossbar, but really nice by the Thunder.
Yeah, and we'll see on the replay. At first, I thought it was a mistake when he hit it this far. I actually think that's the way they want the play drawn up. They had one deep back post, and they wanted to just head it right back across the frame like that because it makes it difficult for a goalkeeper there as he's running one way and back the other, you know, to just change his momentum to get anything on a shot that's placed on frame. So Wheaton here with another corner kick opportunity. The last one looking fairly dangerous. We'll see if they can replicate that here.
D'Argento sends this inside. Whalen again, the recipient, working inside the 18.
Great move there.
Passed inside to Melgar, who takes a shot. It's deflected.
Honestly, I have no idea how he made it past the defender there. I thought he had no space with the triple mark there.
Went towards the end line and was able to sneak that pass inside. Moyes now to throw it in. He'll go into Woodfin, but Williams steps in front. Ball cleared out towards midfield. A great challenge there by Justin Hill. And now back over the middle. Got a whistle, and looks like that one will be on Wingate.
Sapikiotis playing there. Immediately gets a whistle. This referee not looking for any chippy play in this game here. I believe he got called for the use of the hands there.
24-28 here in the first half. Bowen all the way almost out towards the center line, setting his entire team and most of the Wheaton squad to line up on the 18.
They're just going to be looking to play a ball right in that penalty spot.
He sends it up high. Looks like that one's going to go all the way out of bounds. We'll see if Biddlecombe get a touch on that, or
the referee calls that a goal kick. Biddlecombe coming a little bit wide for that.
Biddlecombe sets it down and goes far side once again, right in front of the Thunder fans. Switches it back over to the middle to Eder. Eder sees Moyes, instead opts to go in towards Whalen. Whalen back to Hill. Now Hill a pass inside. That's DiArgento. He's got Wingate on the run outside. Wittenberg defender flicks it up over his head, and now there's Wingate inside the box.
Wingate doubled there, just unable to dribble himself out of that predicament.
Back
that
inside
ball,
to Eder.
That ball, yeah, back inside to Eder, like you said, and Eder playing it back to Hill. And it looks like we have a substitution coming up soon, the next time that ball is played out, which will be right here. Actually, we have a few substitutions for this Wheaton side, and I believe they might all be freshmen.
In the game for Wheaton, number 14, Michael Groza, number 24, Silas Galvao, and number 37, Ben Ferraro.
And they are, you're right, we've got 37, Ben Ferraro, 24, Silas Galvao, and 14, Michael Groza. 3 freshmen coming in. Looks like it'll be Wingate, Woodfin, and Moyes, the 3 to check out. So after 1 goal scored by a freshman, we see 3 more enter into the game. That totals 5 freshmen on the field right now for the Thunder. It looks like Moyes will stay in the game. We'll see who the 3rd player to check out was. Grows off his head inside to Eder. Eder goes back out to Martins. Martins goes back to Hill.
I believe it was Woodfin, Wingate, and Whalen who all checked out.
Melgar now crossing the center line. Passes inside to Groza. Over to Moyes. Moyes back to Melgar. Groza over to Eder. Now Eder wants to switch it all the way to the far side over to Martins. Martins streaking up the sideline.
That's a good pass in. Spikiotis there just contested on that first ball. And the freshman, number 24, Silas Galvo, opting to try to shoot that one, but just not able to get his hips around that. It's a difficult shot when you're facing away from the goal and then trying to turn back around and get good connection.
High punt up in the air. Stays right around midfield as Moyes comes over and picks off a pass. Galvao back to Eder.
And Wheaton already ready. Another 3 substitutions here on the sideline. We'll see those as they come in on this next play.
Melgar up to Spikiotis. Gets a touch over on the far side. Looks like it's Ferraro. Ferraro goes back to Martins. Inside to Eder. Eder back over to Martins. Switches it towards the middle of the field. Melgar now looking to attack. He has space. Pass deflected by Williams, and Hill the only one on the other side of the field to take control. We're seeing this Wittenberg defense giving these Thunder players plenty of space.
Absolutely. They're giving us space in the back, you know, to play the ball around, especially in our defensive half. But even, you know, within their, like the third on their side, just over their half, offensively, we're able to connect in the midfield and also just with the wingers and the forwards. And, you know, that's encouraging to a Wheaton team who looks to hold possession throughout the game. And even in the final third, there's been quite a bit of possession for Wheaton as they've worked it around. It's been in short bursts. I'd like to see Wheaton maintain some more possession in the final third, work it around instead of quick breaks like we've seen.
That ball touched off the end line, and we see a host of subs coming in.
Wittenberg, number 2, Eric Ward, and number 7, Eli Esterline, number 10, Jacob Snowden, and number 13, Gus Esterline. Into the game for Wheaton, number 10, Jacob Kapitanic, number 19, Wes Bevard, and number 29, Stafford Dowling.
So we see Bevard, Dowling, and Kapitanic enter for the Thunder. Kapitanic, a returning player for the Thunder. The other 2 players entering in will be freshmen. Ball played inside. Deflected and stays in the box. Looks like that's Groza there. The far corner. Ball deflected. Finally taken away, but we do have a whistle.
This referee making it very clear that the use of hands will not be tolerated as his progress is impeded on that far side. He gives away the free kick, and this is a dangerous position. This is just like a corner kick, honestly, but you have a little bit more of an angle to whip it in. And the goalkeeper setting up his wall. Bowen opts for the two-person wall.
Looks like it's Bevard going to be the one to take the free kick.
It's a dangerous ball towards the back post, and it hits the post. I believe that went in unassisted.
What a shot. And let's see, that looks like it's Groza. Number 14, Michael Groza, the freshman.
It's a back post curling top corner shot. And immediately the team gathers around him here. You'll see he gets a bit of top spin on that as it goes down, hits the back post and goes in unassisted. Talk about a debut goal.
We've seen two now. One by D'Argento, one by Groza. Two freshmen.
The Thunder goal,
Wingate,
the
the other to
first
score.
for number 14, Michael Groza. Groza unassisted.
The Thunder with the lead 3-0 over the Wittenberg University Tigers here with 18 minutes to go in this first half.
Wittenberg's going to have to figure something out in these next 18 minutes. The worst thing that could happen is they win another one down. I think they already have a lot that they need to talk through in this this halftime break coming up in 18 minutes, but I think they can't sit back, like you said earlier. They can't let Wheaton take the game to them, especially in a stadium where they went 8-0, last season, and just a team that likes to maintain possession. If you let them put it down your throat, then they're gonna score goals like that one.
Moyes on the end line, and Melgar now. Esterline has given him space, and so is Snowden. He'll play back to Biddlecombe. Groza comes up to take that one from Biddlecombe. Sends it into the middle. Passed over to Eder. Now Eder over to the far side to Bevard. Bevard works inside, right along the center line. Passes ahead to Groza. And a good sliding defense made there by the Wittenberg defender.
And that was a good challenge, like you said, Abram. Groza looking for the through ball there. This ball played across to Justin Hill. Pings it over to Melgar. Melgar with lots of time and space. Splits two defenders.
Groza goes back to Melgar. Melgar sees Moyes. Sends a through ball up ahead and just a little out front. Again, Moyes not taking chase.
I think a lot of times Wheaton, when they're giving away possession here offensively, it's because they're too set on forcing it down one side. There's a lot of room on the other side. I'd like to see Wheaton try to switch it through the middle, not through the back, because we already know Wheaton's great at doing that. I want to see them work it through the midfield all the way across to their other winger.
Up ahead to Esterline. Esterline trying to recover it before it goes out of bounds. Moyes will be the last one to touch off the end line.
Tiger, corner kick.
And like you said, Justin, if I'm correct, I believe all three goals have come from the far side for the Thunder in this one.
You are correct on that one, Abram. There's just a lot of space on that opposite side, and it's come from those switches, It's not like they just forced the ball down that side. They were actually working the ball down the right side, switch it over, with the exception of the free kick goal there.
Ball went near post, deflected immediately by Galvaro, and now out on the run, we've got Dowling.
Showcasing some of that speed.
Dowling there marked by a defender. Passes over and a great pass inside. Now, Dowling works inside the box with the left foot, deflected, but he'll recover. He's got Groza standing up at the top of the 18. Little chip shot inside. Moyes looking to chase. Comes back down to Groza. Left-footed shot just outside the top corner.
And that's a good look. I like to see him take that from there because obviously, you got the time and space. He's just hanging out there on the top of the box, and I think that's good recognition to not try to pass that off, but just try to take a crack and very nearly finding that just a little high and wide of that top left corner like you mentioned earlier. Bowen lines up here for the goal kick.
Ball goes over to Melgar off the goal kick. Eder in the center. Over to Galvaro. Wants to pass it outside. Deflected and knocked out of bounds by Zysek.
In the game for Wheaton, number 4, Austin Pack. Number 12, Christian Holland. And number 21, Chase Gwynn.
So we see a junior, a senior, and a freshman come in as number 12, Christian Holland comes in, a senior Austin Pack, and then Chase Gwynn, the junior from Florida.
Gwynn, one of the 3 Wheaton players tied for the lead in scoring last year. 4 goals for Gwynn. He's playing on the backside, and now Groza sends it over to Dowling.
And like you said, he's playing over there in the left back position, which seems a bit unconventional for somebody who is tied for the most amount of goals on the team this past season. But Jake DeClute choosing, to put some of his, more goal-scoring oriented players out on the wing because, not only do they have defensive abilities, physically, they're also, very offensively minded, which is what we want out of our right and left back. You see Austin Pack as well playing in that right back position. Not a position he's used to playing, but one that he's fell nicely into in this preseason.
Galvaro up ahead. He's got Dowling in front of him. Holland on his right. He goes to Holland. Holland's all alone. Wants to pass it inside. Time to wind up and shoot, but that one sent all the way over the public safety building by Dowling.
We'll see here, that whole play, too, starting from a tackle by Pack. Holland there, cutting it behind the on-running defender, and he lines it up, and it's good. It's a good look, and, you can't always, it's difficult, especially if the ball's a little bit trailing behind you like that one. Try to get on top of it. You just kind of reach out. You can get your toe under that ball and send it high and wide like he did.
Pack winning that one, but sending it out of bounds. Zysek to be the one to throw in. Over to Esterline. And Pack, I think, is going to get caught for that one. Came over the back of Esterline a little bit there.
Galvao standing there in front of the ball. Biddlecombe setting him up. It's just a one-man wall. Just to take away that direct option there to goal. I think we're going to be seeing an in-swinger there, probably towards the back of the 6. A few substitutes for the Wittenberg men's side lineup here. Yep, and we see an in-swinger towards that 6, and that ball flicked up by Christian Holland dangerously, but lands behind the goal.
Into the game
Much
for
to
Wittenberg, number
Biddlecomb's
18,
relief.
Jack Gex, number 23, Daniel Kakanza, and number 27, Paul Schmelzer. For Wheaton, number 6, Chad Miller.
Miller coming in. Looks like he'll send Melgar off. Miller, another Thunder player with experience in the past. It'll be a corner here from the near side for the Tigers. Coming down to 10 minutes now, and it's fully dark here. Sun fully set.
Dangerous ball played in towards the front post, dealt with by Chad Miller and Kapituniak. Number 21 for the Wittenberg men's side, Patterson Edris there, securing the ball, but Wheaton quickly wins possession back, and Miller plays that back to Biddlecombe.
And now we've seen a fully new back line for the Thunder with Miller, Pack, and then Bevert over on the far side.
And it looks like Groza playing in the middle there as well with Miller.
Ball goes up ahead. And there it's just deflected off the end line. The defender had no choice.
Thunder corner kick.
Chase Gwynn. Again, a big physical presence on top of the ball. Looks like it'll be Groza to be the one to take the corner.
Like you said, Gwynn there down the sideline to make that play. Gwynn, 6'1", and built pretty well. He's definitely a physical presence here on the field. that the Wheaton men's side looks to.
Rosa sends it toward the top of the 6 and just deflected out, cleared out towards midfield, but Miller is right there to handle it. Goes back toward Groza. Groza keeping it in bounds. Working over Gwynn there, trying to chase.
And for those of you who watched the Wheaton men's side this past season, yeah, you may have noticed Kapituniak wearing the knee brace all last season. If you see tonight, no longer wearing that knee brace, good sign for Kapituniak here, and just even the Wheaton men's side, as Kapituniak's a senior. He has a lot of history with this men's side, with his father playing here too. You see him win the header there. He's also just a great leader on the team, very, very vocal, and you'll hear him throughout the game as he just leads these younger players.
Over to Bevard. Bevard into the middle to Groza. Poked away, and Biddlecombe will be there to handle it. Miller goes back to Biddlecombe. It was Eric Ward, the Tiger player, who looked as if he was going to challenge Biddlecombe for a second there, decided to back off. Bevard back to Biddlecombe, and again we see the Thunder taking their time. Inside to Galvao.
Groza with a ball out wide to Gwynn. And Gwynn looking forward to number 37, Ferraro.
Ferraro will have the throw in after it's tapped out. He'll hand it off.
And Wheaton's playing such a young team right now, Abram, and they're still, taking to the Tigers' side, and maintaining possession, which is, if I were Coach DeClue, that'd be very exciting and reassuring to me after a long and hard preseason to just see things come together. And they still obviously have some things that they need to clean up there, like, little through balls that probably shouldn't be played, or, just the movement, like we said, in the final third and the possession that they're maintaining. But, for a first game, they look like they've got a couple under their belt already.
Bevard, the freshman, decides to play it over to the other side. Pack and Ferraro both there. Pack will be the one that takes it. He had Holland streaking across the center of the field. And there, Dowling able to draw the foul.
It's a dangerous position too, especially from what we've seen from this Wheaton men's side. They opt to take it quickly.
Ferraro works inside, goes back out to Groza. Groza with the defender on his side. Nice job by Dowling there to shield the defender with his body. Back to Pack. Miller now, pass inside. Goes through Dowling to Holland. Knocks back out, now flicked up into the air. Holland will be, Groza, the one to come down with it.
I think Wheaton just needs to calm down a little bit there. A couple possession changes there in the past minute. And dangerous chance here if Pat can't make it there, but easily beats his man back, and that'd be number 7 for the Wittenberg side, Eli Esterline.
It'll come out to Bevard, 5:34 to go. That's Bevard, who taking a second to get up here, but will work his way to his feet.
For those of you tuning in, this is the Wheaton men's soccer game against the Wittenberg University Tigers. Wheaton up 3-0 and 5 minutes on the clock as the Wheaton bench urges their players, to give it their all for these last 5 minutes. They're pushing for that 4th goal. And that 4th goal could be the difference between whether Wittenberg comes out, a new team, or whether they just settle back in and, try to maintain the scoreline from getting any worse than it already is.
Miller inside to Groza. Groza, one of 3 goal scorers tonight. Groza, D'Argento, and Wingate, the 3 to score for the Thunder.
And 3 beautiful goals, Abram.
Worked over to the far side. Gwynn corrals it and then goes back to Bevard. Passes up to Dowling. Dowling goes out to Gwynn. Gwynn will keep it in bounds, and then the Wittenberg player no choice but to send it off the end line.
All the way into the trees in the parking lot.
Ball back in quickly. Ferraro. Ferraro goes back to Gwynn. Gwynn will chip it inside. Gets past the goalie. And then Ferraro not able to volley it back into the net. Just a little high.
Yeah, difficult volley there. It came up off the bounce. You'll see on the replay flash. Gwynn playing that great ball. And it's a touch away from Bowen, but that ball bounces up a bit high for Ferraro to get a good connection with that. It's very difficult to volley a ball that's rising. A lot easier when it's coming back down.
Bowen sends it past the center line. Pack there, able to win it. And Ferraro comes down with the ball over to Capitanic. Ferraro out in front. And once again, moved off the sideline by Wittenberg. Throw in quickly to Capitanic. Gwynn over on the side as well. And once again, back off the sideline. Ball back over to Bevard, who plays it all the way back across the center line to Miller. Bevard works inside.
Good little touch there by number 37, Ferraro. Looking all the way forward for number 24, Galvao, but just too far for him to get any kind of a touch on that. See Holland pulls in too, but Pack winning the easy header over to Holland.
Ball ricochets over, and now pass to the outside. Bevard there able to win that one, goes down to Groza. Groza with time to make a decision, goes back to Miller.
Miller
Has
not noticing that.
Poked away by Eli Esterline. A good tackle there, and now the ball's inside the box. A good save made by Biddlecombe.
And not even a necessary save as the offside flag goes up. We'll see here. Wheaton scrambles to try to get that ball. Unable to do so, and yeah, clearly offsides is number 7, Eli Esterline, but no problem for Biddlecombe. Actually, did they call that a foul? I thought it was offsides, but I think they'll bring it back for the foul before the offsides pass. So dangerous, dangerous position here, especially for Wittenberg. This could be a make it or break it moment in the game. If you put this one in, you're looking at 3-1. You're only down by a couple goals. You're reinvigorated going into the half. But Biddlecombe's no easy goalkeeper to beat with a lot of athleticism and technical ability. I'd say even if it's on frame, we're looking for an interesting free kick here as a couple Wittenberg players stand over this ball.
Snowden sends it on the ground just past the left bar. And that one not able to get on frame. You can see it just slithers through both the Thunder defenders and members of his own side, but not able to get that one on frame. Biddlecombe doesn't even have to make an effort towards it.
And not a bad look either. I like that when you're not trying to get all fancy and curl it around or knuckle it over the wall. You just put a hard shot on frame towards the side where the wall isn't, and very nearly gets that through. Biddlecombe didn't have a clear lane to get a look at that and just watches it go wide.
Minute and 15 seconds to go in this half. Wheaton with the 3-0 lead still. Goes up overhead to Ferraro.
Good ball by Biddlecombe too.
Ferraro working to turn that corner.
1 minute,
back
1
out to
minute remaining in the
Capitanic.
first half, 1 minute.
There's Bevard. Bevard has it deflected away from him by Snowden. Able to flick it up in the air, but it'll be a throw in for Wittenberg with 45 to go. Looks like that was Gwynn able to get a foot on that one, and a nice catch made in the stands by one of the fans. Another throw in for Wittenberg.
30 seconds on the clock.
3 in a row now after Gwynn deflects that ball off the sideline. Wittenberg slowly marching their way closer and closer, and that one will just be cleared out.
This could be a chance. 10 seconds on the clock.
9, 8,
Dowling
7,
using his speed,
6,
gets tripped up,
5,
no whistle.
4,
Holland there,
3,
working
2,
it down. Pack will
1,
line up,
0.
and the time will
That is the end of
expire.
the first half. Our halftime score: Wheaton 3 and Wittenberg 0.
So as this clock expires, Thunder up 3-0. Great first half, Abram. You know, I liked what I saw from Wheaton. There's obviously some things that they can change, but I think this halftime will be influential and vital for Wittenberg if they look to get back into this match with a 3-goal deficit. We'll be excited to see, you know, what both teams bring to the table, if there's any changes, if we see the same lineup, but a few good goals, a great first half, and we'll see you after this break.
Every day, as students attend chapel, meet friends for lunch, or raise their hands in class, they encounter the Wheaton Fund at work, ensuring the excellence of their Wheaton College experience.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, Wheaton students receive a Christ-centered liberal arts education, led by world-class faculty, preparing them for a variety of kingdom vocations.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, all Wheaton students can grow in their faith through chapel, small groups, and real-world ministry experiences.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, students can participate in a more holistic Wheaton experience through extracurricular activities such as clubs, athletics, student government, and more.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, students get to live, learn, and play in world-class facilities. Everything from light bulbs illuminating late-night study sessions to lab equipment fueling discovery in Meyer Science Center. It is made possible by the Wheaton Fund.
Because of the Wheaton Fund, the total excellence of a Wheaton education is made affordable for all of our students. And that's only possible when family, friends, parents, alumni give generously to the Wheaton Fund. Because of you, lives are being transformed each and every day on this campus. People that will lead society and serve the church in the next generation. Because of the Wheaton Fund.
Because of you.
Christ at the Core is changing the way that we teach and learn on campus. It's the beginning of a 4-year journey, a pilgrimage, and study of the liberal arts in a Christian community.
The first time I heard about the core seminar was in my spring connection of my senior year. So what really stood out to me was what they said that went along the lines of, in order to know your career, you first have to know your identity. And that completely blew my mind because all the other schools talked about how I could excel in this subject and grow in this career field, but no one asked me who I was. Through the seminar and through my professor, Dr. Keith Johnson, I've learned that being a student is a vocation, it is a calling. The Lord has placed me here and my classmates here for a reason.
The first year seminar is really built around introducing what we mean by Christian liberal arts, and that is not just to study that, but to actually do it. As we read texts, think about great ideas, refine our writing, make arguments, listen respectfully to students that differ from one another.
So homework wasn't a chore. I engaged deeply with the readings because I wanted to come to class with an insight to share and ready to learn from the students around me. It was an exciting opportunity, and I felt valued as an individual with the things that I could share with the classroom as well as learn.
The Christ at the Core and Advanced Integrative Curriculum is important for our students because it gives them an unparalleled opportunity for critical inquiry and to understand how their academic engagement informs their faith and also how their faith informs their academic engagement.
It's really cool to be in a class that is just combining two very different disciplines, being taught by two different professors, Dr. Townsend just in the Department of Natural Sciences, and then Dr. Barwigan in Christian Formation and Ministry Department, but then seeing how they interact so beautifully in class and how they really just build on what each other are saying.
Students are getting expert knowledge in two very disparate disciplines, and that they're now having to learn how to integrate this. Right. So it teaches them from a liberal arts perspective how to not only take kind of these silos of content and learn it, memorize it for a test, but to see that everything that they're learning contributes to one another.
One of the best things that I've experienced is team teaching and actually having a chance to learn from you.
No, absolutely, that's true. I remember when we had this moment where we were teaching Ursula Le Guin, and I thought this is perfect because we've got a literary scholar and a political philosophy person together and a man and a woman dealing with issues related to gender. And I thought this is such a great experience for the students to be able to hear us working that out, talking that together.
So one of the outcomes in the first year seminar is to learn how to articulate the gospel. And so we, as a seminar, gathered and went to the basement of the Billy Graham Center and went to the pulpit there and began to practice proclaiming the gospel to each other. It was fun to do it together, to hear each other as we were learning better how to communicate the truth of Jesus Christ.
Part of the seminar experience is that we really build a community over the semester that we are together.
One of my favorite memories from core class was actually not during class, but one night when Dr. Lauber, my core professor, had us over to his house for dinner.
And community really built around that. Having food, having coffee, and having our textbooks in front of us.
This was a really impactful experience because as a freshman first semester, it was so nice to have a night where I could spend time in a home with a family eating dinner. Dr. Lauber really showed that he first cared about us as people and then as students, which made my core experience even more impactful and started off my freshman year really well.
And ultimately, this is what it's about: an education for life, a preparation for a life of service, because Christ truly is at the core of what we're doing here.
I think a lot of today tries to emphasize how much you need to be the individual and how much you need to kind of have your plan set out for you as soon as you reach the end of high school. Vanguard just kind of popped out of nowhere, and the idea of a gap year, spending it in the woods, and I felt like I just needed to take some time away from the kind of rigorous academic world just to kind of recenter myself. I feel like this is probably one of the best decisions I've ever made, was to take a gap year.
For me, going right to college was really kind of a scary thought because I didn't know what I wanted to major in, what I wanted to do. So taking a gap year was a really good chance for me to just grow and mature a little more before going to college.
Once a month we would have professors from Wheaton come up and run a seminar, and those were exploring big questions of faith or big questions that millennials face.
Also, just the Vanguard community itself is really tight, and we became kind of like a family.
I'm very thankful for these people who are willing to push me, but just care for me so deeply, and definitely I think something unique to this place, to Honey Rock, and to Vanguard as a program.
Basically the whole year was one immersion trip, being here in the Northwoods and interacting with the local community here. Another was going to the Dominican Republic.
It was learning and delving deeper into my faith, but without grades and without this pressure that I've always felt to perform And I think having the opportunity to learn in such an intimate setting has influenced me in a really positive way.
I think what Vanguard does is it helps you to really discover your true potential and help you to kind of define your own calling.
It's a year of your life, yeah, and you might think, oh, this will set me behind all my friends, but it won't. At this stage in life, you're still so young, and there's still so much time to explore the world and to see what you want to study, and you'll have your 4 years of college, but you don't need to rush into that.
The person I am now compared to the person at the beginning is different in a lot of ways, but probably one of the most important ways would just be less anxiety about the future and more of just like present-mindedness and openness to what God is doing and like what His plan is from here.
Yeah, I definitely think looking back on it, taking a gap year and doing Vanguard was the best decision of my life.
Hello, my name is Rob Ribby and I'm director here at Honey Rock, and I'm excited to talk to you about Advance Camp. Advance Camp is one of the most unique and powerful programs at Honey Rock, and it is at a critical time for young people between junior high and high school, and helping to equip and prepare them to manage that significant transition. It's a 3-week program that has a wilderness trip, some significant in-camp experiences around our activity areas and Bible studies, and then thirdly has a significant service component. The whole goal of the program is to prepare them and help them understand who they are and how they can stand for Christ and live in healthy and whole ways as they enter the significant years of high school. I think it is one of the best investments you can make at this important time in their lives. We hope to see you next summer. God bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back inside Joe Bean Stadium here on the campus of Wheaton College. As we're just pausing to break from halftime, we'll be back for the start of the second half in just a couple minutes or so. Team back out on the field, still waiting for Wittenberg to take the field here. Thunder out warming up a little bit as really the night turned into a beautiful night here. A little cooler, but still plenty warm, no breeze. Just a great night for an opener here at the 2019 Bob Baptista Invitational. The Thunder up 3-0, taking a big lead in the first half after 3 goals, one by Missaker Wingate, one by D'Argento, and one by Groza. The last 2 scored by freshmen, which that's a theme that we've seen throughout this first half, Justin, is Coach DeClute ready and willing to rotate those freshmen in onto the field here tonight.
Exactly. And just looking at the stat sheet fast from this first half, there's 3 players with 2 shots in that first half, all of those being freshmen, with D'Argento, Groza, and Galval all taking 2 shots. putting at least 50% of those on frame. Looks like D'Argento putting both of his shots on goal. So I think that just goes to show how offensively minded and strong that these freshmen are. To be able to come out in their collegiate debut and make a mark on this game, and also just how much Coach DeClute trusts his new freshmen and his team.
Yeah, and we talked earlier before the game about a lot of returning scorers for the Thunder, but really the story so far has been guys that didn't have much experience last year. 2 of them weren't even here. Wingate, like you said before, Justin, had a little bit of limited time, but really we haven't seen Shane Copeland yet tonight. Peter Whalen and Chase Gwynn, those 3 were the leaders with 4 goals apiece. A.J. Moyes had 3 last year, and then Sapikiotis and Ryan Melgar, 2 goals apiece last year. So all those players I just mentioned, all 7 of them making impacts in the game tonight. We just haven't seen it from the scoring end, so that's got to be a good feeling for the team and for Coach DeClute to see that. Able to put 3 goals on the board in the first half without even looking to your 6 main scorers from last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not to say that they haven't been involved in the match either. A few of those names that you had mentioned, like Gwynn and Moyes, for example, are actively involved in setting these goals up, or at least the situations that lead towards them. So I think that's something that you have to say too. They're such a dynamic team. And it's not just like we have goal scorers. We have multifaceted players who are able to play defensively, offensively. They're able to assist. They're able to drive in and take those shots. We don't have a single player on this team who can't, handle a position on this field. I mean, with the exception of Biddlecombe being head goalkeeper, but I think you can flip everyone on the team. Maybe we could still get a good result out of this game.
In the Wheaton community and want to help clients plan for their future. Interested in learning more about how hourly financial planning can help you? Check out our website at timothyfinancial.com.
Interested to see what team we trot out of the field here to the start of the second half. Looks like, at least at first glance here, looks like the starters. We've got Eder, Woodfin, Whalen, Sapikiotis, Wingate, Melgar, Hill, and D'Argento, along with Haston Biddlecombe.
Yep, so bringing out that starting lineup again, hopefully to get a couple goals in, a goal or 2. The one thing about Coach DeClute is he never lets up. He always wants his team to play at the optimal, in their top level the entire game. So I'll be excited to see that, but also just what this Wittenberg team has to offer as they line up in what looks like a 4-5-1 here. Or maybe even a 4-4-2, as we have the 4 across the back, the 4 in the middle, and then the 2 up by the center circle. I wasn't paying too close attention, Abram, to their formation this past half. It's a very balanced one, which can work both offensively and defensively, which is what they're going to need here in this half.
Justin Hill eager to send one through early, and A.J. Moyes will be the one to throw it in after it's deflected out of bounds. He'll go back to Melgar. Once again, we see that back line of Melgar, Hill, and Martins.
And a very strong, like we said earlier, multifaceted back line who can take it up the sideline or just, take it to any kind of an offensive team who's pressing on them. Good ball all the way over to the side by D'Argento, all the way to Woodfin. Great touch, but it looks like he's just off sides. And Woodfin maybe trying to take a shot there from the corner, but well high and wide.
Bowen will be there to a goal kick. Let's see if he decides to punt it or set it down. Looks like he will. Fans streaming back in after halftime. Got to be happy about the attendance here on the first night.
Yeah, nearly packed out student section.
Ball up ahead to Hill. Almost got through there for a second. Moyes there able to recover, and now
a bit of a
little hairy there for a second, but Biddlecombe able to come through and take control of that one.
Biddlecombe almost thinking that Moyes was going to clear that, but Moyes wanting Biddlecombe to come get that one. I don't think Moyes realized that he had a player right on his back there.
Melgar now works it towards, switch it back to Hill. Hill will go back over to Melgar. Melgar over to Woodfin and back. And we talked about it in the first half once again. Wittenberg giving plenty of space to the Thunder.
And that's exactly what they can't do because it opens up people like Wingate, you know, just with all kinds of room. They play it back just behind Wingate, though. But Wingate working hard to try to keep that ball in, and he manages to get it out for a throw-in as opposed to a goal kick. And there's players in this back line like Melgar and Justin Hill that can find those gaps, and they have the power to play those long balls as well, especially if you give them the time and the space.
Eder there, not able to make contact. And we see a whistle. Looks like that one will go against Wingate. Tom Swift on the receiving end of that penalty.
Wingate just coming through a little late on that one. Good idea, though. Bowen up to take the kick here. And he's prompting his players to move in towards the center of this field.
Goes short to the side to Zysek. Works back, ball comes out behind DiArgento, pushing it up the line. Cut off there and now sent in towards the middle. Snowden back over to Blanco.
Ooh.
Martin's a nice move there as he works it on the inside. Goes over to Whalen. Whalen not able to cleat that one close to his body as it's deflected, but Moy is there to recover it. Back over in the middle to Eder, and he'll go back over to Martins, or Moyes, excuse me.
Wheaton looks to swing here, with Melgar skipping over to Martins. Martins with all kind of room here. Takes ball up a little bit. It looks like he might go for another switch. Yeah, plays it back to Melgar. There's a lot of space on the side. Will Woodfin calling out loud for the switch. Ball into the middle.
Eder passes inside to Whalen.
Oh, that's
a great
beautiful
flick.
passing.
And Bowen able to slide that one down. Now it's just cleared off. Let's see if that'll go off the end line or the sideline.
Looks like that'll be a throw, and we'll see here. This is just great team passing. Melgar up to Spikiotis. Spikiotis back to Eders, and then that little flick there from Whalen, just the vision as Spikiotis follows. And, you know, that's a good save, too. Open field save by Bowen. It's difficult sometimes you're tempted as a goalkeeper to go down, but to hold your line and make yourself big like Bowen did there to keep the scoreline from going to 4-0.
Whalen off the head and misplayed a little bit there. Sapikiotis inside. Wittenberg player falls down on top of the ball, and we'll get a whistle.
A little bit of a strange foul there. I think the Wittenberg player went down rather easy, and Sapikiotis showing a little bit of his frustration there with the call.
5 minutes gone, 39 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the second half. Ball played out way down towards the center line to Williams. Goes off the sideline, and it'll now be a throw-in. Looks like Wittenberg wants to push, but Melgar there, able to tap it back out of bounds.
I think another goal here for either side will be kind of define how this half is going to go, Abram. So as both teams here press to see who can get on the scoreboard first in this half, I think that we'll see either a reinvigorated Wittenberg side or a reinvigorated Wheaton side. Not that Wheaton doesn't already have the hunger. I think it just could be the nail in the coffin in this game.
Martin's a through ball up ahead. Sapikiotis to be the one to chase.
And Joey with good hustle there. Spikiotis down the sideline. Melgar coming up with a good contest on that pass, which was not well placed. It didn't have a good target. Martin settles.
Swift there to deflect it. Now Melgar will be the one that taps it out of bounds.
Wingate all the way back to help.
Blanco to throw in. Snowden not able to handle it as it goes off the end line for a goal kick.
And Bill will come with lots of time and space. We'll probably play it through the middle here to Eders. He had both Eders and Justin Hill as easy options to play out of the back.
Eder goes over to Moyes. Moyes goes back to Hill.
We've seen that out of Wheaton, for as long as DeClute's been here as the coach. Is just he really wants the defense and especially the goalkeepers to play out of the back. So Haston oftentimes, just playing easy out of the back. A little bit of good passing here. We see again Whalen gets through, slides that across, but just doesn't have enough power. Bowen easily collects that one. We see a Wittenberg player there. And we'll actually see on the replay here. So Edders plays that forward, flicked on by Will Woodfin, and then Whalen almost able to get it on the back post where he had D'Argento, Wingate, and it looks like another player too there to try to finish that one off, but snuffed before they had the opportunity.
Good play by Bowen because D'Argento was right in position to clean that one up. Keeps the score at 3-0 here with 37:39 to go in the game.
Could have tallied his second goal on his debut.
Bowen here keeps this one on the ground and we'll send it flying. Good win there by Hill. And now it's out to Sapikiotis. Sapikiotis up to Woodfin. Woodfin has D'Argento in the middle. Deflected. Woodfin giving chase out towards the sideline. Goes down and we see a tussle in the corner. Ball kicked off of the end line. Let's see what we've got here. Looks like a corner kick for the Thunder.
I think he called it a goal kick, actually.
Yes, he did. You're right.
I think Will Woodfin slid in there trying to regain possession from that tussle in the corner, and he just slid that over the end line.
Bowen once again towards the middle. Snowden, they're fighting with Hill to get possession. Wingate gets a little piece of it, and now he's got it on the side with Swift on his right hip. He'll work to pass it back to Martins. And Martins will go over to Hill.
A good read there by Wingate to not try to take on his defender, realizing he was getting doubled, but just pass it back to Martins so that they can work the ball around. Spikiotis pulling all the way over here, has support with Wingate on the left. In the middle, plays to D'Argento.
D'Argento, great move to get past Swift. Ball back out. Martins plays the spin and is able to get it inside.
Lots of space on the other side of the field. Justin Hill playing that ball down the middle, seeing Spikiotis. Goes to contest that 50-50 ball, but not able to win that. Melgar collecting in the back here. Heads it up. Settled by Edders. Flicks that out to Martins, and Wheaton has now calmed the pace of play back down. You see a run forward by Whalen trying to drag out, in the front, trying to drag out that defense. I like to see that. Whalen's great with his runs. I haven't seen it from a ton of the younger players this game, but Spikiotis making some good runs, and Will Woodfin as well.
Wingate, athletic play to keep that ball in bounds.
I was not expecting him to keep that in. And the referee playing what looked to be an advantage there as Martins was tripped up, but keeps the ball.
Martins goes back to Melgar.
Melgar with time and space. Plays a little give and go quickly. Fakes that pass back.
Melgar inside to Wingate. Wingate working around. Gets it inside to Woodfin. We'll see if he can flick a pass inside, and he's not able to.
And that will go out for a corner kick. That tackle on Woodfin, rather hard. Almost looked like he let it with the shoulders. They actually revert that call to a foul or offsides maybe. I'm not exactly sure what the call is there. But Bowen urges his team up and in. Looks to play down the middle. Justin Hill going up for that, but unable to win that.
And Moy is able to control it for enough time to Hill to get back and recover. Now the ball goes up the sideline to Williams. Whalen there in the middle. Over to Eder. Eder, a nice pass past the defender. Now a through ball up ahead. D'Argento just not able to get there before Bowen is able to come up and gather it around the 18.
D'Argento wants another goal. You can see it in just the way that he's playing there, trying to get on the end of everything.
Ball goes off the sideline. Multiple players on the Wheaton and Wittenberg sides gesturing. Looks like it will be a throw-in for Wittenberg.
Yeah, off the side of A.J. Moy's head, I believe.
We've got a whistle. Looks like Woodfin was eager to throw it in, but the ball will stay with Wittenberg. We have 2 substitutes ready to head into the game here for the Thunder. Michael Groza and Silas Galval, 2 players we saw get a lot of action in the first half. Whalen collects it. Great touch off of his chest. Now over to Wingate. A lot of space on this near side. Works it back towards the middle. Dumps it off to Whalen, who now kicks to Eder.
Eder with good recognition there that Martins had time and space wide.
Melgar inside to Eder and back to Hill.
And it looks like Justin Hill goes down holding his right quad. And this could be bad for the Wheaton team if Justin Hill has picked up an injury. And he's using the ref's help to get off the field here maybe.
We will see, it looks like number 19, Wes Bevard, be the one to come in for Hill. 2 substitutes again, as I mentioned, being Groza.
Substitution for Wheaton is number 19, Wes Bevard.
And Bevard is that one. We've got Groza and Galval ready to check in soon as well.
Justin Hill, a central piece of this Wheaton men's team, and also just the defensive side here too. Definitely not a good sign to see your upperclassman center back go down, but hopefully it's just maybe a cramp or just some little injury. Maybe he was hit hard on that quad as he gestured towards it as the trainers came on the field, but I don't think Wheaton has much to worry about right now. 32 minutes remaining in this second half here. Scoreline still 3-0. Wheaton's been working the ball around rather well, and it looks like Wittenberg hasn't changed much up. Abram just sitting back and allowing Wheaton to bring the game to them, which I think is allowing Wheaton to just, define this. Good pass forward to A.J. Moyes, who is flagged off sides. But
now, Justin, I agree, and I would venture to maybe even say that Wittenberg looks to be playing off even further than they were in the first half, and whether that is maybe a decision made at halftime or something that once they got back out in the field in the second half that the players are tending to do. But like you said, really letting Wheaton get what they want here.
They've almost just sat back in and parked the bus, but they don't have the goals to do so. So I think that Wittenberg needs to take the game to Wheaton if they want to change this scoreline at all. We see a couple substitutions come in, like Abram mentioned earlier.
Number 14, Michael Groza.
Number 14, Michael Groza. Number 24, Silas Galval. And then 29, Stafford Dowling as well.
And so it's Sapikiotis, Whalen, and Woodfin that step off with 31 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Bevard goes over to Melgar, who's in the middle.
Well-deserved substitutions. Those guys have all been putting in a lot of work here in the field this night.
Martin stripped up a little bit, but Craddock gives it up to Blanco to throw in. It's in the center for Bennick.
And A.J. Moyes plays that ball all the way back to Biddlecombe. Bevard with the ball now.
Header over to the far side to Moyes. Moyes up to Galval. Wanted to send it up, looked like maybe to D'Argento, but Bowen there to take that one away easily.
And Coach DeClude on the sideline, urging his players to, quote, just play. I think he wants to see them keep it on the ground and work it up. And I couldn't agree more. Wheaton's area of necessary, like the area that they need to work on most is a dangerous opportunity here. Will go. Biddle come out with a great save.
Kept in bounds by the Wittenberg player, and now Melgar will try to clear it out. Gets it out just about the 25-yard mark, and now it'll go off the sideline. Like you said, Justin, a great save by Biddlecombe.
We'll see here on the replay fast, and Haston Biddlecombe is just such an indispensable player to have on this team. Point-blank save, makes his body big, almost like the save Bowen made earlier, but honestly even more difficult when you're coming across on an angle like that. you're expecting, there's a wide angle, that's for sure, and Biddlecombe able to make his body big, get that away with his feet. Biddlecombe, a great goalkeeper, not just as far as D3 and the CCIW goes, but just, as far as a goalkeeper at any level.
Up over to Galval. Galval passes up ahead, and we're going to see a big run out by Dowling. Dowling now approaching Bowen, but Bowen able to get it off. Wingate comes down, and now we've got 2 players at the top of the box. Stafford Dowling tries to pass it up ahead to Wingate. Little miscommunication there as Wingate didn't finish the run. Craddock has it now, coming down the sideline. Goes to Snowden. Snowden wants to flick it back, and he does. Now it's Craddock racing past Melgar, and he slips there. Melgar will just take possession. Pass it out to Martins. Martins inside to Eder, and now he'll work it back to Bevard, who goes over to Moyes on the far side.
An unfortunate slip there, too, as he had players on the back post running in. There's a lot of good looks there for him to make as he neared that corner, but fortunately then the turf got the better of him.
Bevard tried to squeeze that one through, but instead the Wittenberg defender able to get a piece of it. Now Dowling out front, works it across the middle, fires off a shot, and looks like it was deflected, fell easily into the hands of Bowen.
And that was a good look, too. I believe the first shot would have been better than, the resulting deflection here. But absolutely, I believe it would have been. It looked like it was curling towards that back post. But, Bowen easily handling that ball as it redirects right towards him. Speaking of easily handling the ball rolls back to Biddlecombe, who plays it out to Bevard with lots of time and space. Playing off of Wingate.
Now D'Argento goes over to Melgar on the other side. 27-14 to go. Wheaton still with the 3-0 lead. Now we see a foul over on the other side.
And a hard foul on Moyes as he holds his right shin. We've seen a substitute for the Wheaton men's side sitting here for the past couple minutes, and that's number 37, Ben Ferraro, who had quite a few minutes, Abram, in the first half. How did you think about his play?
Yeah, Ferraro was definitely up there involved with, he was part of that first group of substitutes. It was Groza, Galval, and
Wittenberg's
Ferraro.
number 16, Nick Christo.
The first 3 to come in the first half, and looks like, as you heard there on the PA, a caution given on that foul by Moyes, but he is up and stays in the game as Austin Pack comes in to stand, and looks like he will substitute as well.
So Picchiotis joins the 3 subs now, and it's and then another couple Wittenberg players also join. Referee looking like he might issue another yellow card, which he does. And I think when you're down 3-0 and things aren't, looking any differently than they have, you almost have a motivation to play in a chippy manner. You get frustrated.
7,
it's inevitable.
Esterline.
So we'll see a couple substitutions here, but it looks like the frustration's getting the better of some of these Wittenberg players right now. I'd expect to see more of that chippy play, especially if another goal goes in for the Thunder.
Looks like it's Moyes standing over
Into
the
the game
ball
for
there.
Wheaton, number 37, Ben Ferraro.
Moyes and Martins, it looks, has pulled all the way over.
Martins there looking to attack, passes it off to Eder. Eder over to Ferraro. Ferraro sends it in. Ball up.
Goal.
And a goal!
And guess who it is? Another freshman. Number 29, Stafford Dowling here with his first collegiate goal. And the freshmen are having a scoring party tonight, Abram. They all want to be in on the fun. They all want to join it. It's just such a great place and time to score your first collegiate goal. Your first game, in front of such a good student section here.
And Ferraro just sends a great ball in. There were 3 players that were there ready to make a play on that ball. It was Martins, Galval, and then Dowling was the one that was just able to get a foot on it and send it past Bowen.
majority of those players just named are freshmen too. All hoping to get their foot on the end of that ball, but ultimately Dowling able to punch that home, and like I just said, 4-0 scoreline. I think we could possibly see some more chippy play here as 27 minutes remain on the
Thunder
clock.
goal is first of the year for number 29, Stafford Dowling.
You think they'll beat that same 5-0 opener that they had last year,
number
Abram?
37, Ben Ferraro.
I believe that was Benedictine in the Bob Baptista Invitational last year, where the Thunder got the 5-0 win to open up the season, and it was a great way to kick off their season, especially at home. As we've mentioned a couple times before, it kicked off their 8-0 record here in Joe Bean Stadium. I'm sure that Coach DeClute and the rest of the team would be welcome to another run like that this year. It's now Ferraro working outside. Back to Martins. Martins wants to send it in. Deflected off of the head of Swift. And
they call offsides on that one, which is strange. I didn't believe he was offsides personally, but nevertheless, the ball's brought back as the AR holds the flag up.
25:51 to go. Wheaton Thunder in the lead over the Wittenberg Tigers, 4-0 in this one, in the nightcap of the Bob Baptista Invitational.
We mentioned that 8-0 run just a few times here, Abram, and I don't know if you guys who are tuning in can hear it when they go by, but I think the trains also play a big part in this this home field advantage, just with the limited ability to communicate. I mean, it gets difficult for us up here in the press box to hear sometimes when these freight trains and metro trains go by, but just such a great field, even especially when we fill the stands like this, So I think inevitably they get a ton of wins at this field because of just the atmosphere that it invokes here under the lights.
Ball sent right out towards the 18 and immediately knocked down. Now this one chipped up. No Wittenberg player makes a run at it. Now Biddlecombe going to send it out quick. D'Argento has Dowling in front of him. But that ball will be sent down the line. We'll see if it stays true, and it does. Martins will have to track it down. Goes back to Biddlecombe. Now over to Martins again, and now with this 4-0 lead, we see Jacob Kapitanic on the line, ready to check in. D'Argento tripped up a little bit there, goes back to Dowling, and he'll send it all the way back to the back line towards Sapikiotis.
Sapikiotis playing there in that spot that Justin Hill had inhabited earlier.
And there's the horn.
In the game for Wheaton, number 10, Jacob Kapitaniak, and number 21, Chase Gwynn.
Chase Gwynn, Kapitaniak coming in, removing Martins and D'Argento. Kapitaniak going up to take D'Argento's spot, and Chase Gwynn settling into that left back position that Micah Martins had been playing.
Eder one to stay back, and Sapikiotis will be there. Eder comes back and sends that one back to Biddlecombe, and now that's a name that we've called a lot, is Dylan Eder in this game, and it hasn't been on the scoring end, but he's one that they've really worked through the middle, and Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, but that reminds me a little of the way that the team worked through Andrew Wade last year in that spot in the middle, and just seeming to call his name just about all the time, as he was one to really distribute it out to his other players. Eder seems to be playing in that role tonight.
I think that's a good observation, Abram. He plays in the same spot, sitting back in the 6 in that defensive midfielder spot, and he plays very similarly. Just the style of play, really working to incorporate. He plays very physically, but at the same time, his awareness is so good, and just looks to connect his teammates. And I think that's a vital piece of this Wheaton squad, especially from transitioning from this back line all the way up into this final third. The ball goes through him all the time. It's inevitable that you have to play through him, especially if you're looking to switch the field through the midfield. Then he's your man. So getting a lot of playing time, too, in this first game. And I'm impressed with what I've seen.
Back to Sapikiotis now, Bevard in that back line as well. He'll send it into the middle to Groza. Groza not able to keep possession, and Now after it's deflected a couple times, it'll come back out to Pack. Pack goes to Gwynn. Gwynn in the middle to Eder. Once again, we see the whole Wittenberg defense kind of shifting as a whole. No one player stepping up to play mark on the ball.
I believe that might have a little bit to do with how tired this team is. Wheaton's been moving them back and forth all game long.
Ball deflected a couple times while inside the box. Eder wants to line it up. Not quite able to get a foot on it, but now Bever makes a nice play to keep possession.
Ferraro with all kinds of space here along the sideline.
There's Ferraro on the pass from Gwynn. Gwynn's going to run up ahead. He's now on his left side. He'll go out to Gwynn. Gwynn will send a pass inside. Swift.
The offside
has that one
flag
out while the
comes
offside,
up.
yep.
For the Wittenberg side, number 18, Jack Gex lines up for the substitution, as well as number 27. That's Paul Smelzer, number 27.
Ball up, and I think the referee is going to get either Gwynn or Eder on that one, once again using the hands as they went up for that 50-50 ball.
And Ferraro showing good hustle to come back there and just deflect that cross opportunity. Also winning the tackle here. It's off to the races as Wheaton looks to see if they can get a counterattack. Kapituniak with a nice cut there. Lots of space on the far side if he can find it, and that is a fantastic ball.
Up ahead to Galval. Galval has Groza in front of him, poked away by the defender, and that'll roll off the sideline.
Into the game for Wittenberg, number 3, Ross Angelo, number 18,
Ross
Jack
Angelo,
Gex,
number 3 for the Wittenberg men's side, also joining
Paul
his other two
Smelser.
counterparts.
For Wheaton,
Christian Holland coming
number
in
12,
too.
Christian Holland.
And there's Eder coming out of the game.
Well-deserved break.
20 minutes and about 5 seconds to go in this one. 4-0, the Thunder lead over the Tigers. Ball goes in and eventually just has to be kicked out. We're on the far side. Pass goes inside. Dowling there, and another goal. This one coming from Galval, and who is it? It's another freshman for the Thunder, bringing the score to 5-0 as Silas Galval getting his first goal of his collegiate career.
We've had, what is this now, 4 freshmen score in this game. It's just crazy to me. I've never seen anything like this before, and it's just so encouraging. First game of the season, 4 freshmen scoring.
And looks like it was Groza that sent that one in. Dowling got a piece, and then Galval, the one that was able to finish it up.
Career for number 24, Silas Galval. Galval, the goal, the assist to number 4, Austin Pack, and number 29, Stafford Dowling.
That was Pack on the assist there, not Groza, excuse me, as we're now down below 20 minutes. Gwynn goes to Bever. Bever plays over to Sapikiotis on the back line. There's space on the left side for Gwynn, and that's where Bever will go.
And it's difficult too. There's occasional pressure coming from this Wittenberg side, but when there's only one person pressuring, it makes it really difficult and tiring for the players who are actually doing the pressuring. I mean, it's in vain. It's like playing a 5v1, for example. You're just never going to win the ball unless Wheaton makes a mistake, which is oftentimes how Wheaton's giving up possession, just little mistakes or
Wheaton, number
poorly placed
16,
passes.
Bryce Leonard, and number 27, Isaiah Clausen.
Bryce Leonard, the number 16, coming in to get his first minutes of the night, and then Isaiah Clausen as well. Again, 2 more freshmen coming in. Stafford Dowling will be replaced, as well as it looks like Galval will come out too.
And I believe 2 freshmen that haven't gotten any minutes this game yet either, Abram.
We'll see if they can throw their hat in the ring for a little bit of scoring here.
There's obviously some time left as 18 minutes remain on the clock for those of you who are just tuning in, perhaps. The Thunder are up 5-0 against the Wittenberg Tigers.
Clausen making a run early, and that'll be kicked off the end line, and we'll see a corner kick here, so another good scoring chance for the Thunder.
Corner kick.
They've yet to score a goal off a corner kick tonight, but they've had a couple great chances, especially that play we saw on the other end, the doubleheader that Peter Whalen almost was able to finish off.
We'll see if they can finish a header here on this corner kick. Good
Again,
ball.
going far post, parried away by Bowen.
Falling right to the feet of Price Leonard there, but just Price Leonard not able to get the shot off in time. Kapituniak, who has a lot of range in his shot, looking like he might pull one out. I believe that was Price Leonard on the back post there trying to get a cross in, but just skying that one out for a goal kick.
Bowen here, able to reach up and make that nice play on the corner kick there. We'll take the goal kick now.
Yeah, kind of bailed out there a little bit. He got his hand to that, parrying it wide with the punch, but just didn't get enough on it to send that all the way out of the box, falling right to the feet of Price Leonard, but Leonard didn't really have that much space to work with, so wasn't able to get a shot off.
There's Groza, sends a through ball up ahead. Bowen able to get out in front of Leonard and make that stop.
And Leonard showing a lot of speed there as he attempted to contest that ball, but Bowen coolly sliding onto that one. He'll roll it out here. Trying to find an option for him.
All the way up ahead, and Austin Pack will be the one there that'll get a foot on it. Holland plays back to Bevard. Sapikiotis taking some time in the back line. Holland now has it within the center circle. Passes over to Gwynn. Gwynn has Kapitaniak. He'll play it out wide, and not enough time for him to track it down before it gets to the end line. Looks like we'll see a substitution here. It's going to be number 30, Baker Avenger. Another freshman that comes in. He'll replace Groza.
Avenger getting his first minutes too here in his collegiate debut. 15 minutes on the clock here.
A good chase made there by Clausen, and the Wittenberg player, number 23, Kukanza, just has to give it back to Bowen.
Clausen showing a lot of oh, he wins the ball here, and this could be a good opportunity for Clausen, but he takes a big touch here, and that goes over the end line for what looks to be a goal kick. But I love that hustle here. We'll see Clausen just, uses his sheer determination there to win the ball, but takes a really big touch there after that tackle and just isn't able to get a shot on frame. Bowen sliding in to break that up.
Bowen sends this one. Ferraro there along with Gwynn. Looks like Gwynn was the one to get a touch on it. Ball quickly comes back into Ward. Ward goes over to Gwynn. Holland in the middle. Wants to go back to Bevard, who doesn't really have a choice and just had to send it off to the sideline to prevent our player from getting an easy run.
It looks like Wheaton has 4 substitutions lined up here. It'll be number 20, David Warbrook, out of New Zealand. Chad, looks like Ben Coriel and John Steiner as well.
Ball flicked up just outside the box. Pack able to soar in and send this one, clearing it out towards center. Now it goes all the way back to Bowen. Once again, we see Clausen there giving chase, along with Kapitaniak. Gwynn able to cut this one off, and now he's got players up in the final third. Clausen there goes out to Ferraro. Defender forcing him towards the middle. Bevard able to line one up, and the left foot shot curls just wide of the right post.
Into the game for Wheaton, number 3, John Steiner.
It's not a bad opportunity to see here in the replay. It's difficult when you're taking it with that near foot. I would have liked to see him take it with his right foot as opposed to his left foot, because he gets too much around the side of the ball as it's coming across and it just bends right. If he would have hit that with his right foot, Probably would have been able to get a bit more around it and put better shot on frame there, but nothing against him for taking the shot.
Down below 13 minutes to go in this one. 5-0 still the score. Ball falls down without a touch a couple times, and now Gwynn is able to get a foot on it. Flicked over, Coryell makes a play there. Clausen sends it back into the middle to Steiner, who's the new arrival. Able to just poke that one out towards Warbrick. And now Steiner goes out to the far side. Miller now works it and will have a whistle. We do have a player from Wittenberg down on the ground. Looks like it's number 18, Jack Gex. And so the clock will stop at 12:22.
Wait, Rusty. What were the subs?
And Justin, now the storyline of this game surely just having to be the superior play of these Wheaton freshmen tonight. And we talked before the game, we certainly expected Coach DeClute to send some of these freshmen in early. We saw 2 starters that are freshmen, but it's really exceeded our expectations just in the way that they've been able to get onto the ball and really just open up this night. Missiker Wingate scored the first goal of the game, kind of the senior opening the gates and leading the way, but the 4 freshmen after that have really taken the lead of Wingate and opened it up from there.
Injury substitution.
You couldn't be more right. I can't be more impressed with this with these freshmen on the Wheaton men's side. I spoke to some of the upperclassmen and the seniors on the team going into this season, just asking them, how do you feel about the freshman class this year? And they couldn't express more how much they were confident in just the ability level of each of the players individually. They had so much good things to say about each player, which goes to show not only the depth, but just the potential that this team has. And not to put too much pressure, I think a lot of times, because Wheaton has been perennially a great team, and like in the past a national championship contender even, but I think that people have a tendency to put too much of an expectation on this team. I'm just, excited to see how they take it game to game and grow together without even putting on that pressure. I think that if they take things game by game and they don't, get too forward-minded or future-minded, then the sky's the limit for this team.
Ball played back to Coryell, and I couldn't agree more, Justin. Holland now the one to bring it up. He has space. He's got Gwynn on his left. Back over to Clausen. Holland calling for it and then switching it back over towards Coryell. No Wittenberg defenders really moving over that center line at all. Warbrick giving chase, and the Wittenberg defender kind of hopping over the ball there, letting him make a play on it. Holland sends a ball through to Gwynn. Gwynn gets a touch on it, gets past his defender. And the defender makes a good play to keep it from being a corner kick. It'll just be a throw in deep in the corner there.
I believe Gwynn will take this one. As he throws that one all the way back to Holland. Holland giving a dangerous ball, which is intercepted. But Biddlecombe coming out here. Biddlecombe looks like he'll easily get to that one. Put it high and into the middle, so giving his team some time to get their shape back. Steiner recovers, plays that wide to Miller. Miller streaking down the sideline. He has support in the middle and wide. Warbrick on the ball here. Drops it back. Goes to play out wide. It's number 16, Price Leonard, but Price Leonard unfortunately committing a foul there, which will give away possession. Bowen up to take the kick.
10 minutes and 35 seconds to go. Ball set down by Bowen, and again, he motions for his team to move in.
It's kind of funny. All game long, he's been motioning for his team to get up and in, but it honestly is not a great spot to play the ball as a goalkeeper. Just right there into the middle, it doesn't give your team a lot of opportunity to settle the ball when you're facing, away from the goal that you want to be going towards, and you have, the Wheaton back line sitting here ready to move forward and towards the ball. It's much easier to head that one out. Good free kick position here for Wittenberg University. I'm sure this one will be played rather direct. We'll see here as the referee makes sure that the wall's in place. Whistles.
This one curls towards the far post. Cleared out by Steiner. A nice job by, looks like it was the new arrival Baker Avenger getting some of his first touches there. He came over and grabbed that clearance and turned it into a break there. Kapitanic now will be the one to throw it in after it goes off of a Wittenberg player.
Holland goes across to Coriel.
Coriel looking as the Thunder offense kind of shifts, like you say, regaining its shape now. Kapitanic back to Steiner, and now Clausen. Nice play to keep that one in bounds. A little heel flick over to Gwynn. Gwynn gets it up to Kapitanic, and that one slid down out of bounds by number 23. That's Kukanza for Wittenberg. Gwynn keeps it in bounds, sends a pass that'll just roll off the end line, and the horn will sound, signaling a substitution. Looks like it's going to be number 29.
Number 29, Cameron Artis.
Artis is the junior, coming in to replace Swift.
Clock under 10 minutes here, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So Thunder still up 5-0. Bowen here to take the kick. All game long, Bowen's been going right down the middle, like I was mentioning earlier. Just giving people like John Steiner there an opportunity, a better opportunity, but just an uneven matchup there for Steiner as he has to go up against number 19, Scott Durham, the senior midfielder.
Steiner goes into Kapitanic, who sends it back to Coriel. Coriel goes over to Miller, and you can hear Coach DeClute really wanting Steiner to find a window in the middle there so they can work that ball through. Clausen comes up.
Coach DeClute, like you said, looking for those windows. Wheaton generally, this is a fantastic ball. I just need to take a minute. And honestly, almost a perfect touch there by Miller, but Miller not able to quite get there. But finding those windows can be so difficult. You can be tempted to just work the ball down the sideline or over to your right or left back who plays it into the winger. But when you keep going back and forth in that semicircle, or that U shape, then you don't really work the team that much. You move them back and forth, but you don't create great opportunities because they know right where you're going to go. So finding those windows, if you're able to split the defense there and upset their shape, just opens up a lot more opportunities as the whole back line and the midfield begins to break down. And you see a mistake, you see a window, you see just a little spot, and you can work that through. And that's how you build up play in the final third, is you look for those windows, you be patient. And Jake DeClute urging his team to be both patient but also hungry.
Kapitanic working through multiple defenders, still keeping possession. Tried to dump it off to Miller and lost it, but now that ball will go off the sideline. Bryce Leonard not able to track it down. Miller there able to step in, cut off that pass. Sends that one all the way up into the corner. Leonard getting out front. He goes down, and you can hear the crowd and also the players on the field really asking for a call there, not able to get it.
Looked like a call to me, but the referee decides that it's a no contest there. Ball being worked around in the back now between Biddlecombe, Holland, and Coriel. Holland finding his window there over to Miller. Miller playing out wide to Kapitanic, has a great touch. There's a lot of space in the back post as Chase Gwynn motions for it.
There's Leonard. Leonard passes it inside. Warbrick was there, but not able to make a play.
Warbrick, believe that one was already out over the end line for a corner kick.
That goal kick just flies all the way down to Biddlecombe.
Yeah, Holland heads it back there to Biddlecombe. Biddlecombe secures the ball. Wheaton just keeping it calm here as they work around, being patient with the ball. They have no need to, press any farther than they already have, but when they have opportunities like that for fantastic balls to pick out Leonard, then I guess you take your opportunities, Kapitanic with the ball.
Volleys one in, it'll go off the defender and be a corner kick
Thunder,
here.
corner kick.
With 4 minutes and 48 seconds. We've seen a couple nice balls played out to Price Leonard over on that far side. That time he was able to dump it down to Kapitanic. We'll see who's the one to head over to take the corner. It looks like it'll be John Steiner.
Like you said, Leonard, on the receiving end of some of those kicks, he had to run quite far to get a couple of those using his speed. All of Wheaton's wingers showcasing their speed tonight as they like to get in on the action. Ball in by Steiner towards Chase Gwynn, who wasn't able to wrap his foot around it.
Holland just lets that one go. Goes back out to Coryell.
A little bit of a miscommunication there, but Holland takes it as Coryell's touch was a little bit too far. Holland there telegraphing his pass towards Wittenberg, but Gwynn back there to show a little bit of physicality and win the ball back.
Gwynn now streaking down the sideline. Almost able to get a nice through ball up ahead to Clausen, but a good play made to step underneath that pass by Ross Angelo. Coryell now the one to bring it towards the center circle. Goes to Kapitanic. Over to Steiner in the middle. Got a lot of space out to Gwynn on the side, and he sees him and hits him with a pass as the clock passes 3:15 here. Avinger over to Steiner. Steiner playing that ball really nicely to keep it away from the defender, and now it's back over to Gwynn. Sends this one looping in towards the goal, and Warbrick not able to make a play on it. Bowen easily able to swallow that one up.
I don't mind that ball by Gwynn. I think it's a good look. It's just a difficult ball to pull off there as he doesn't get his foot around it very much, so it takes off that little bit of spin necessary to get it to loop back towards Warbrick.
We have a whistle, and it looks like it'll be a free kick, which he'll just play back to Biddlecombe. It'll come over to the side. Coryell. This back line still holding strong, even though some of the starters subbed out, and really on the field now as we look down, I'm not sure that there are any starters still on the field for the Thunder. Clausen.
With the exception of Biddlecombe in the back.
Yep. Exactly, Justin. A nice header, and looked for a second that that one was going to maybe catch the post, but just hit a little too far to the left off of Warbrick's head.
Yeah, in our angle there, I think it looked a lot closer than it actually ended up being, but good ball in there. Warbrick heading that wide. That bounces out actually halfway in between the post and that 6-yard line.
Ball up inside. Kapitanic able to come over. Got a minute and a half here. Let's see what Wheaton's strategy is. Are they content to pass it around in the back, or do they want to maybe take a chance for another score here?
I believe they'll just sit back on their possession and work the ball around for the last minute. Jake DeCoupe keeping his team, like I've said so many times this game, hungry but also humble. Wheaton showing class here as they finish out the game. It's a good tackle there by number 27 for the Wittenberg side. It's Paul Smelser.
1 minute. 1 minute remaining in the second half. 1 minute.
1 minute to go. Gwynn sandwiched in between two players there. Kapitanic able to pick up the ball afterwards, and he's tripped up from behind. That'll be a yellow card there. The third of the game on Wittenberg's side. Clock stops with 50.6 seconds to go. Free kick here. Probably somewhere just around 24 yards out.
Yeah, good position there. I believe Kapituniak is one of those players where you never really know. He might play that in or he might take a crack himself. He's got a great shot from distance. And the goalkeeper, Bowen, not taking any chances, putting 3 men on the wall. A great ball towards the back post, but no one able to get the foot on it that they needed to redirect that back towards the middle. I believe that was Gwynn and Miller. We'll see here on the replay. Kapituniak lining up, playing that ball right over the top. Gwynn just nearly missing it, and Miller there on the back post just nearly
Wittenberg's
missing
number 7,
it too.
Eli Esterline, was cautioned.
Down below 30 seconds now. Avenger working along that far sideline. Getting up ahead and really pushing the ball inside to the box there. Leonard inside, wanted to make a play on that one, couldn't quite get it. We've got about 10 seconds to go in this one.
9, 8, 7.
Holland works
6,
towards the middle.
5, 4, 3.
Looks like he wanted to maybe
2,
reel off one last
1,
shot, but the time will expire. And the Wheaton Thunder will come out of game 1 of the season with a 5-0 win over Wittenberg University.
Talk about a statement, Abram. I believe 5-0 win, same as the first win that they got last year at the Bob Baptiste Invitational. So great first start, showcasing this freshman ability, as well as just the depth of this team. So for those of you who joined us tonight, thank you. You can join us tomorrow. There's another couple matchups with another 7:30 kickoff, I believe, and another maybe a 5:30 kickoff as well too for the men's games tomorrow. So join us tomorrow. But thank you for tuning in to the Wheaton Sports broadcast of the men's soccer matchup between the Wheaton College Thunder men's soccer team and the Wittenberg University Tigers men's game. This is Justin Majeski alongside Abram Erickson. Thank you.
Hey, Rusty, you said 1287. Thank you, Kurt.
I'm down here on the field with Coach Galval, assistant coach, and Coach, it's always great to get a win in the season opener, especially in a fashion like you did tonight. What did you really enjoy seeing from your team here?
Well, first of all, the work rate that the guys had tonight was very good. It was also great to see the depth of the team, to see being able to put a lot of players on the field. It was very, very helpful to us tonight.
Yeah, really, and interesting. We saw 2 freshmen in the starting lineup, and then tonight really they came out scoring in droves with 4 of the 5 goals coming from freshmen. How great is that to see, just to see that the team that's brought back a lot of scores from last year, but also seeing scoring come from new areas just in the first game already this season?
Yeah, we're very fortunate with the freshman class we have this year. We have 11 freshmen coming in, and several of them have the capability of stepping in and playing. And we actually played almost everybody tonight, and so it was very good to see that.
All right, thank you, Coach. Congratulations. We'll see the Thunder back out on the field tomorrow night at 7:30 as they finish up the second game of the Bob Baptiste Invitational. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Abram Erickson for my partner, Justin Majeski. Thank you. Have a great night.